One of the challenges that we've presented before as far as asset management goes is a lot of things aren't connected. Databases don't talk to each other. But our goal is really to think in terms of a platform and an ecosystem. When you start connecting the dots, you can say, okay, we're planning something for a new clinic over here, and now we need to think in terms of risk management. What's the mission? How do you plan for the operations? How do you go from an asset management perspective, not just the actual physical asset itself, but thinking in terms of management involves a lot more people and a lot more capabilities that are needed. And the exciting thing now is, especially with now that we're going to talk about Chat GPT as well too, as AI comes into play, having data in a machine readable format is good for humans, but it's also good for machines, obviously, when you start connecting the dots. And how do we collaborate in that type of environment to make these kind of decisions? This particular owner has 5,000 buildings statewide, or 742 in Los Angeles. Not all of them have a BIM to this level, but they have asset information about the space, the square footage, how many people are in it. We can start with that. You don't have to have everything modeled to that high level of detail, but you have data associated with a location, whether it's a shape on a map or a shape of a space, you can start making decisions about managing those assets. Obviously, when you have a detailed plan, it's more valuable because you can get absolute square footage. As they start doing renovations, then you can say, if you make it as part of your contract requirements, say, okay, if you're going to do any kind of work to this building and you're going to pay somebody to go through and measure or create a plan, let's at least capture that in a standardized process. And we call that a minimum viable BIM. What's the minimum that we need to actually start making decisions, and then allows you to, at the entire campus level, say, how many square feet of laboratory space type A do we have across all these 742 buildings? You can do that. And most large owners can't do that right now. They really can't, especially large government agencies. They're really struggling with just reporting basic stuff. And that's really unfortunate, because I think it's more of a governance and thing and not really the technology. It's really for us as an industry to give them that the right guidance on that, because there's a lot of kind of hype, I think, also on what BIM and GIS and 3D and digital, all of that is great stuff. We all support it, but I think we need to be strategic about how we do that, and then we can get there faster.